When you have this understanding of reality, what's to fear? What's to fear? Sure, you can find yourself getting frustrated with people. I find myself getting frustrated with people. But every time I do, I realize it's a test for myself. It's something that I need to find out about myself. I need to understand why I have these emotions. I need to embrace them when I'm having them. But I need to understand that it isn't the other person frustrating me. It's my perception of the other person that's frustrating me. It's not anything that they are doing. It's my perception of what they are doing. How I'm feeling that infringes upon my person, and why I would feel that something like that infringed upon me as a person. What would make me think that? These are the things that we need to overcome. These are the parts of ourselves that we need to know, that we need to face, and we need to find out about. But leading by example is the key. If you love everybody, if people can see in you a change for the better, for you having become aware of this information, then that's the way to bring them the information. All of the information that I've researched, it doesn't matter who you look at. If you're looking at this New World Order stuff, I mean, there's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it can be quite confronting and quite oppressive and quite discomforting. But if you can understand the true nature of this reality, and you can simply view this information as information, and understand that becoming aware of this information is how you begin to see through the matrix. This is how you begin to escape the matrix, because all information is empowering. All knowledge is empowering. Once you understand that there's only just these two energy frequencies, and within this reality, these two frequencies of energy are expressed as the emotions of love and fear. Unconditional love and extreme fear, these create energy fields. Getting someone in a state of unconditional love is very hard, but it's very easy to put someone into a state of extreme fear. When you put someone into a state of extreme fear, you can literally feed from that energy. As I was saying, this is what rapists and serial killers do. They terrify their victims because they feed from that energy. Now this is why when you get massive amounts of conflict, you get a war set up on a particular ley line of the planet, you get everybody wearing occult symbolism, and the amount of pain and terror and bloodshed and absolute fear that is generated from these encounters is incredible. And this charges the field around us. This is why all of these things are done. This is what helps keep us locked into this reality. You need to put yourself in a state of knowing your connection with people around you and loving these people. And if they don't wake up, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you wake up. It's not your place to be the scaffold for other people who won't wake up. And you don't have to change your life. Maybe you could just start eating healthy. Start eating healthy food. Start drinking clean water. Start avoiding genetically modified foods. Start growing a garden and getting yourself back to nature a bit. But the most important thing of all is to remain centered in your heart and to be aware of your connection to all life and all things, to be aware of the connection that you have with everything in this universe. Just be aware of it. Know it. Know that you are part of this entire living universe. You are one frequency of a self that is the entire universe. If you can put yourself in an energetic state of love and charge the field around you with that energy, this is how the consciousness wakes up. Being aware of all the information that's presented to you, being aware of the fact that these vaccinations are contaminated, being aware of the state of the money system. But I mean, I know about the state of the money system. I know how corrupt it is, and I don't give a damn about it crashing. I don't care if the whole global economy crashes. The whole global economy is fake anyway. It doesn't mean anything. Money doesn't mean anything. What means something is the people on this planet and the abundance that we can create for ourselves. If we were just left to live on this planet as people and get to know each other and love each other, start to understand each other's ways and connect with each other, that's what's needed. That's what I would like to see happen. But knowing how the money system works and knowing how all this works is simply a way of understanding the matrix. None of it is to be feared, but you have to know about this stuff in order to be free of it. And staying in an energetic state of love simply means not being in a state of fear. So don't fear anything that's coming. Lead by example. Show the people around you how much of a better person you are, how much kinder you are, how much more caring you are, how much more happier and relaxed you are for knowing this information. Because once you become aware of the fact that all that actually exists within this reality is conscious living energy, that every single plant, every tree, every shell, every cell in your body, everything within all of creation is created to the same mathematical formula. Every leaf, everything contains the pi ratio, the Fibonacci sequence. It can be found everywhere throughout all of creation. Knowing that this whole place exists on a mathematical formula, and that you are one frequency of energy inhabiting a biological computer, involved in an experiment to experience all there is to experience, then what's to fear? What's not to love? It's understanding that when this consciousness simply chooses the right polarity, the whole consciousness shifts, the whole consciousness returns to self. There are only two polarities, love and fear. All we have to do is choose the right polarity and lead by example. Sure, spread information, but spread it in the right way. Don't spread it from a state of fear. If you try to spread information from a state of fear, the first thing most people will do is reject the information. You'll end up feeling isolated, you'll alienate yourself. Like with the vaccinations, if you run up and tell people, look, this vaccination is poisonous, it's going to kill you, they're going to laugh at you. But if you're happy, and you're just a wonderful person to be around because you're always in a state of joy, because you understand what your connection to this matrix is, and you understand what your connection to the whole universe is, and you approach it from that perspective and you say, hey, look, I've seen some interesting controversy surrounding this vaccination. I suggest that you look into it. And point out that some of the arguments against this vaccination are coming from some quite reputable doctors. And just suggest to these people that it may well be in their best interest to investigate this a little bit before they go having any vaccination that comes from Baxter Labs. It's just your approach to things. But again, understand that it's not your job to be the scaffolding for people. It's not your job to wake up people who won't wake up. I do what I do in the hope that I will wake some people up. But my main hope in what I do is trying to get those who are awake or are semi-awake centered in the right energetic state, in the correct energetic state to deal with this information. It has to be done peacefully. It has to be done by simply walking away from this system, like not complying with this system. I mean, what I'm saying with non-compliance and global non-compliance is that all of these rules they put in place, all of these so-called laws, and all of the way these societies are run based on profiteering, based on benefiting the corporation and exploiting the environment in the most efficient way and putting people last. We don't need to comply with this system. The only reason we do comply with it is because the people at the top who control all these corporations and all these interests made up a bunch of rules and called it law, and we decided that we had to do what they say. But it's simply not the way society has to function. It's not the way society has to function at all. Sure, we need rules, we need some sort of rules to have a society, but we don't need rules in place that are of no purpose. I mean, we've got rules for everything, folks. We've got so many laws. In Australia here, we have 22 million people in this country, and we have 22 million laws. We have a law for each person in the country. It's absolutely ridiculous.